Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Fearless Generations with Terry Sayer and Kelly Fox.
Hello and welcome to Fearless Generations 12 Steps to Freedom. Woo woo! Tonight is opening night of Season 9. So exciting. We are starting with Step 1, awareness, and it is introduction night, which means anything goes. I am Kelly Fox, and I am excited to be here with you tonight and sharing this information once again, but in a different way. So let me welcome my beautiful co-host, Terry Sayer. How are you doing tonight, Terry?
I am doing great. It's really exciting to think that we've been doing this for 8 years, and here we are ready to start over again and look at the first step on our pathway to freedom.
Yep. Super exciting. And I'm excited for what this year will bring, because each year brings something else, and then we get to approach the new year as different people and with different guest coaches. And tonight we have someone on the show that we haven't had before, so super excited to bring to the show Nicole Grams. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing great tonight. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, especially staying up so late.
Yeah, it is a little later than I would like to be over here in Wisconsin, but I decided it was definitely worth it to have this conversation because I mean, any opportunity I have to be able to spread awareness for everybody is definitely something that I will cash in on any chance I get.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Lucky
Thank
us.
you so much. Yeah. So, Nicole, can you please share with us what is it that you get to do and who is it that you get to serve?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a holistic health and anxiety coach, and I am also a functional medicine pharmacist. So I kind of bring together several different modalities to help people make sense of what's going on in their heads and in their bodies and start really making their life what they want it to be. Because if I can help it, I don't want to let anybody else get caught in their own resistance and spiraling thoughts and irrational fears, and let's just leave that all behind and move forward into the life that we want.
Awesome. Love that. And who do you love working with?
Honestly, I love working with people who just can't get out of their own heads, because that was me. I was kind of an anxious mess for a long, long time, and I was really excited to be able to talk about awareness, because it really is the first step in, changing that, breaking that cycle that you have of, being stuck in your own head, worrying about everything, just not being able to move forward and find confidence in yourself. It really has to start, I guess I'm getting a little ahead of myself here, but I really like working with people who really just want to make sense of what's going on in their own heads and move forward with their lives.
Yeah, I love that. Yes, we agree. Step 1 is awareness. So we're on your side there. So what does awareness mean to you?
For me, awareness is, ultimately it's being conscious of something or someone or what's going on around you, right? But in my experience and in the context that I hope to bring it tonight, it's really more awareness of what's going on within yourself. So many times we end up distracting ourselves with food or TV or, staying busy or whatever your vice of choice is. But most of the time, it just feels like these distractions are happening to us, when really, if we bring awareness to the situation, if we get conscious of what's going on within, we can make a choice to stop distracting ourselves from what we're feeling and really move forward into achieving our goals, taking care of ourselves, all that good stuff that comes with it.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I can definitely find myself feeling stuck in front of the TV and just going, oh, just one more episode.
Right.
I love that. And I hope we get to hear more about that. So, Terry, what is your definition of awareness?
Yeah, I think, being conscious is certainly a good way to define awareness. I think it's important that, for me, I think awareness occurs in the present moment. It occurs when I am in touch with myself, when I am aware of because I agree with you wholeheartedly that awareness begins with awareness of our own processing, of our own thoughts, of our own words and our own actions. Everything we do in Fearless Living begins with ourselves. In order to be aware and know what we want so that we can move forward and be aware of tools and strategies that can assist us in facing those distractions or fears or whatever you want to call them, so that we can get on the journey to doing making the choices that guide us and lead us to what we want in our life. And I think a lot of people, they're not even aware of what they want. And I think that is also part of looking inside. And if you get stuck in your head, and some people get stuck in their heart, right, and in their feelings, is somehow getting unstuck of those predetermined ideas that we have about ourselves that can really keep us stuck there, and those limiting beliefs about ourselves. And so for me, it was that awareness that I had a choice. I totally had a choice, and I could make those choices in the present moment, aware of the opportunities that I had, even in moments of chaos or moments of, grief or whatever we find ourselves in. I still, through awareness, could make choices that were proactive and that would help me to continue on my journey and to take what I could learn from those experiences and those challenges or opportunities that we have that could help me to be in the present moment, making choices that carried me forward towards my goals and my dreams, towards my purpose and my passion. So for me, awareness has truly helped me to restructure my life around what I want, because I'm now clear about what I want. And it's only taken me 70 plus years to get there.
Yeah. Hey, whatever time you get there is the right time.
It's never too late.
That's right. So I love that you talked about how you used it, and I'd love to hear, Nicole, how have you used awareness for your own journey, but also with your clients?
So for my own journey, I'll start there. I used awareness to really get tuned into what was happening in my own body, because I don't think you can move forward towards any significant goals or making lasting changes in your life. You can't do that without having awareness first. So really what I started with was figuring out what I was feeling. And it seems so obvious, but for me at the time, it very much was not, because I was just kind of going through distracting myself from my own emotions. And I brought awareness into what was going on in my own head and what I was feeling, and giving myself permission to feel all of these things and making that be okay to move forward and have these human experiences, right? We're taught so often that we're not supposed to feel negative emotions and all this stuff, but being aware that that's what I was feeling and making that okay is really where I started to find my power and find my confidence and find emotional maturity at a level that I have not ever been exposed to before that point.
Wow, yeah. Powerful.
And I kind of out to do the same things with my clients now too, and really help them sort out like, all right, well, what is it that you're feeling? Let's bring some awareness to what's going on in your body, and let's see what we can do about that and move forward.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, awareness for me is an awakening, a realization of what I'm doing, why I've been doing it, what I'm thinking, why I'm thinking it. How do I feel when this happens or that happens? How do I feel around someone, or different things like that. So an awakening or a realization of something that I haven't been choosing to be awake to. Kind of like the saying of taking the blinders off. I can have a tendency of getting I can get really super focused. It's part of my ADHD, where I can get super focused on something and nothing else exists, and then I kind of forget everything that's going on around me, and so it's like kind of stepping back and taking that big picture view and saying, okay, what's going on here? And I feel like Terry said about present moment, I feel like something that really can bring you into the present moment and really increase your awareness is tapping into your senses. What do you hear? What do you see? What do you feel? What do you taste? What do you
smell?
Did I say them all? Smell. Thank you. What do you smell? Bringing yourself really into your body and present and becoming aware of what's going on with you. Nicole, I know that we asked you to bring us a tool tonight for our listeners. So I want to turn the time over to you for that.
Yeah, awesome. So the tool that I have brought tonight is basically helping to gain awareness of emotions. And I'm hoping that there will be a link that they can use to download this. But it's basically, there's an emotions wheel and a sensations chart, I guess. But talking you through how to use that, when I help my clients bring awareness to what's going on within them, I really want to help them sit down, get comfortable with, themselves a little bit. So really just getting calm, getting quiet, going within, feeling, and putting a name towards what it is they're feeling. And the emotions wheel that I have here, I usually start out in the middle, and there's, happy, sad, angry, fearful. You've probably seen something like this before, but it expands from there, and you just kind of go out. And a lot of times people are scared to put a name to what they're feeling, but really what I have discovered with myself and what my clients have discovered along the way is that the more specific you can get with what's going on in your own body, the easier it is to deal with. Because you can't just go in, it's kind of like going into a completely dark space, just, stabbing in the dark to find that what you're trying to help with without having awareness. So awareness is really like turning on the light to see what's there. And if you're feeling, you can start feeling like angry, but really what you're feeling is, indignant. Like it gets more specific, and you can have it almost takes the power away from it, because it's not this like nebulous blob floating around in the dark. It's like a specific thing that you can take out, you can look at it, you can inspect it, you can decide whether you want to keep it, and then you either put it back or you take it with you, right? And that's true of positive or negative emotions, and whether that's feeling valued or feeling excluded or feeling sleepy, whatever it is. There's so many different things, but we are also complex beings, and sometimes just deciding what emotion is at the forefront of what you're what you're feeling in that moment can help bring some clarity to it. For example, if you're feeling, let down in some way, maybe you're feeling resentful about something. And when you really kind of feel it's sort of like a knowing almost, when you kind of look at, the words on the chart, or just kind of searching within your own self to find what it is. When you can acknowledge that, okay, this is an emotion that I'm feeling. Now, where is that coming from? What thoughts am I having? Like, how can we make it, if it's not an emotion that you want to be feeling, like, how can you bring awareness to it, and what has to change within you in order to take control of it? The second, sorry.
No, go ahead.
The second part of what I brought is a sensations chart. And this really gets into the physical sensations of what emotions feel like. And I think a lot of us are raised in an environment that does not allow us to trust our own emotions. And that's another aspect of, naming it and giving yourself permission to feel that emotion. But sensations, if you can't put a name to it, sensations are where I start. A lot of times you're like, oh, I'm happy or I'm sad or whatever it is. But like, what does that actually feel like in your body? So when you are trying to understand what's happening in your body, what's happening in your brain, sometimes all you have is, oh, I have this really fluttery feeling in my stomach. And then you can kind of start putting names towards that. And then okay, when I have this fluttery feeling in my stomach, it's excitement that I'm feeling. And then you can really start to look at the symptoms that you're having of these emotions that you're feeling. So it's bringing awareness to where in your body do you feel what's going on? Did it start here? Did it grow? Is it shrinking? Is it heavy? Is it light? Is it, so if you think into your body when you're feeling angry, for example, for me, there's a lot of heat in my body. It's usually more on the surface, but there's sometimes a fiery, angsty feeling in my chest, or my face is flushed, or, those sorts of things. But when I'm feeling, disappointed, that's a completely different sensation and tactile thing that I've got going on in my body. So it's a much heavier, the disappointment is more cold. It's dark. It's heavy. It's, sitting like a rock in my stomach, or like pressure in my chest. So then by bringing awareness to what's physically happening in my body, it can give me clues to what I'm feeling. And those clues to what I'm feeling lead me to have a greater understanding of what's going on in my head, in order to really take control of what's going on and guide the emotions that I'm feeling, and guide myself to make different decisions that get me closer to my goals.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we would definitely love for you to post that in the Facebook group with the links. And when you post your contact information too, post it all there so that the listeners can have easy access to it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, Terry has a will probably similar to the one you're talking about. So what were your thoughts that came up when she was talking about all this, Terry?
Yeah, I think we're really talking about helping people to get clear. And I think feelings are one of those things that we're taught that they have a value, that they're right or they're wrong. And feelings are just feelings. What they are, they're just feelings. And we can get stuck with them. We can stuff them down. We can ignore them. There's so many things we can do. And yet by naming them, identifying them, and then feeling them, and let them go through you, and recognize they're not bad, they're not good. I mean, I think I was always taught that if you were angry, then you were a bad person. If you felt mad, you were bad. And yet anger is just a feeling, and if you understand it and you can name it, and with that chart, like you said, you can get very specific. Starts with mad, and then it goes into 3 different layers, I believe, of vocabulary that identify other words that indicate the different nuances of anger. And I think it's really helpful for people to be able to do that, to name it, and then to feel it, and then let it go. And before I learned all of these wonderful strategies and learned to love myself, I was angry all the time. And I felt like I was a bad person because I couldn't seem to control my anger. And so once I learned that, I became aware of the fact that anger is just a feeling. It's not good or bad. We all get angry. And once we learn other proactive behaviors to not let that be a self-destructive behavior, but just to be a feeling, then I can quickly, the intensity and the length of it is very short. In fact, I think I was actually angry the other day, which was like one of the first times I've been angry to where I was aware that I was actually angry in quite a while. So it's that level of awareness of what you're feeling, and then giving yourself permission to feel it. Like you said, feel it. It's just a feeling, and then go, let it go through you, and then act on your intentions and your, what you want, the clarity of what your goals are and how you want to take up space and how you want to move forward. And angry was certainly not one of the things that I wanted to be. My state of being, I want to be love, not to be anger. But I'm still going to have that feeling occasionally, so I can give myself permission to be angry. I can, let it go and not hang on to it like I did in what I call my former life. And I think it's really important that we can name what those are, as you've said several times, and to have an extensive vocabulary so that we can pinpoint that particular aspect of anger. That's what we're feeling. And then just say, okay, I have permission to feel that way, and let it go through you. I think they say it takes less than a minute if you just allow a feeling to go through you. And then just, again, be intent on living your intention, whatever that might be, and move forward.
Yeah, I love that. I think what you kind of walked through is what we call the 4 A's, and that's acknowledge your feelings, and, just acknowledge that it's there, then allow yourself to feel it, and allow yourself to just feel the feeling, not attach a story to it, not attach some kind of judgment to it, but just allow yourself to feel it. And then ask yourself, what are you committed to? What are those things that you're committed to? What are you committed to in relationships or situations that are in front of you? And then act on your commitments. So we don't want to act on our feelings. We want to act on what we're committed to. So we're going to acknowledge and allow those feelings to go through us, and then we're going to ask ourselves, what are we committed to, and then act on those commitments. So that's a fearless living tool called the 4 A's, which Terry pretty much walked us through, but I added the words to them. And I think that that's a really great tool that you can use along with the tool, Nicole, that you shared of, acknowledge which feeling is it on that wheel, and allow yourself to feel it, whatever those sensations are, and then ask yourself what you're committed to, and then act on that commitment. So I think that these tools work well together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did want to add just one small thing, that sometimes bringing awareness to the emotion that you're feeling and acknowledging it, that first step of the 4 A's is all it takes to be able to let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I agree. Well, ladies, guess what? We are almost out of time. And I talked about this earlier, but we want to definitely give Nicole time to share her contact information, as well as, Nicole, if you have anything coming up that our listeners could participate in, we'd love to hear about that as well.
So my website is NicoleGrams.com. It's just my name, NicoleGrams.com. And you can also find me most active on TikTok, although my social media presence has been kind of dialed down as I study for a certification exam. But I do have free twice-monthly coaching sessions where I will kind of present a topic and allow open Q&A and some live coaching after. You can find a link to that on my website. And I will definitely post my contact info and the download for everybody to find.
Yes, absolutely. And please, you can, speak about that monthly coaching master, whatever you just, I can't remember the word you used, but that monthly coaching call that you mentioned, make sure that you speak to that in the group as well. And whatever links they need to get there and sign up for that.
All right. Will do.
Yeah. So, last chance, what is the most important thing that you would want our listeners to walk away from tonight, Nicole?
Tonight, if you walk away with only one thing, that's a good question. Thank you. There's so much covered in such a short amount of time. But I think bringing awareness is the first step to giving yourself permission to move forward in your life. Again, if you don't know what you're working with, there's not much you can have some limited success, but in order to keep moving forward and keep meeting and exceeding your goals, bringing awareness to what's going on inside you is the first step.
Absolutely. Love that. Thank you. Terry?
Yeah, I would say that it's sometimes we really hesitate to look inward. And I believe, I'm going to echo what Nicole just said. It's taking that responsibility to look inward, to be aware of your own thoughts, your own feelings, and your own processing. If that's where it starts with you. And I just think that's what I want to leave our listeners with as well.
Yeah, my same thoughts. I think that sometimes it can be really easy to be aware of what's going on around us and other people's behavior that's inappropriate or out of alignment with ours, but to really take the time to look inside and say, well, what is motivating our behavior? What is causing us to behave the way we are? What are the filters that we're filtering all of these judgments through, either on ourselves or others? To really go inside and look at all of that is really powerful and the first step to change. So we want to thank you, Nicole, for being here with us. We want to remind our listeners that the 12 Steps to Freedom were created by Rhonda Britton, the CEO and founder of the Fearless Living Institute. And you can find out more about Fearless Living at fearlessliving.org. Also, you can find everything about Terry and I at fearlessgenerations.org. And we would love for you to go there and check out everything that we have going on. We have a workshop coming up this month on the 26th. It is free and 1 hour and virtual, so everybody can come. It is a win-win. So if you'd like more information about that, you can find it there on the website under virtual workshops. So thank you for being here with us each week. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you, Kelly. It's a pleasure having you, Nicole.
All right. So everybody, until next week, be fearless.
Good night.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.